How's it going, guys? And welcome to Week 1 Wednesday, or as we like to call it, I have no idea what that sounded like on your guys' end, but we got Kurt on the phone. We couldn't do it without Kurt, so Kurt set us off for this Week 1 Wednesday. Thank you, Kurt. Heart you.
Goodbye.
It's like a slow motion Wookiee.
Yeah, exactly. Like. All right, guys. Today we're going to be talking about some of the best EDC knives. I've got a ton on the table that you guys suggested. Taylor has some of his favorites. Obviously, we've got Taylor from Best Damn EDC, so super excited. Glad to have you on, buddy.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. And we're just going to dive into this thing. Guys, this is a bit of a mess. So we're in my shop trying to keep that social distancing thing, trying to, work from home more. So we're in my shop. Jamie was here helping get all the technical stuff ready. He is in the comments, so, say hi to Jamie. And I've got a ton of knives on the table. Taylor's computer is about to die. So let's just do this thing, huh?
I'm not touching anything. I'm not touching it.
I love it. Oh, I almost forgot. So a big shout out to the sponsor of the show. There it is. We Knives. So huge shout out to We Knives for making Week 1 Wednesday possible. As you can tell, we've got some amazing graphics for you guys this round. If you don't know why we sponsoring the show is important, hold on to the end. I promise it's worth your time. All right. Current best EDC knives. I've got one that I've been wanting to talk about for a while. We just got it at Blade HQ literally today. I don't know if you've handled this one yet, Taylor. This is the Ontario knife. Oop, backwards. Yes, we're going to get it. This is the Ontario knife SheiKra. Have you heard anything about this one yet?
Yeah, so I saw your video from SHOT Show, and for what they're, I don't know what the MSRP is, but it looked really nice for what they're pushing it as.
For what it is. So what you get, guys, is you get micarta, front micarta, like real actual nice micarta. You get a titanium frame lock on the back, nice deeper carry pocket clip. It is an Oz 8 blade, but it goes for $45. So for $45, you're getting a titanium frame lock, nice micarta, and an almost deep carry pocket clip. That seems pretty good, man. That seems pretty good.
I mean, you had me at micarta, so
right.
I'm a simple man.
Yeah. So let us know down in the comments, guys. What do you think about this Ontario SheiKra? I personally think it's awesome. Jamie's been in love with this one, and Taylor, you were saying from the video, from what you saw from SHOT Show, you're pretty stoked on it too, then.
Yeah, I think it looks really nice. It's got more of a pointy, stabby blade than I typically carry, but
yeah, like for sure. No, it is. It's good, and I think
I'm an OKC fan, so
there you go. Right, and this might be the first knife in this price range with a titanium frame lock. I could be misspeaking, but I think that might be the case. So
yeah, that's pretty low for titanium.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting, pretty dang exciting. Now, so we've got you on because we're doing this. We got to work from home more, so we're gonna be bringing guests on. And we had asked the audience, we're like, hey, who should we talk to? And your name came up probably more than everybody else. Talon's size name. Talon's in the live stream right now. So if you guys want to talk to Talon Sai, he's in the live stream. And
he had his stream for 8 hours.
Exactly. He said he was on for 11 hours.
Yeah, that's nuts. That's way longer than I've ever gone.
Oh yeah,
I've gone for a long stream. That's long.
Yeah, that's super long. So Talon is in the comments right now. He brought the guys that were at his live stream over. So hey, Talon, thanks for being here, buddy. Appreciate it. And then actually, I'm so disorganized. We were literally technically setting this up to the last minute. I'm gonna pull up the live stream really quick, and so I can I'm gonna pull up an app so Jamie can feed me some comments so I can give you guys some shout outs. So let me get that really quick. All right, cool. I'm in there, so if you want to shout out, let Jamie know. And of course, we'll do pocket dumps midway and the whole thing. So Taylor, I want to kick this off.
Fair warning.
Yeah.
Fair warning. My pocket dump is actually abysmal right now. And I'll explain why later, but it is not
I don't know if that's
true.
true. I was talking to Taylor about this, and when I called him up, I was like, hey, we want to do best EDC knives, and we'll get some audience suggestions, and that's what we have on the table, a ton of that. And he starts naming off all the knives in his collection right now, and I'm like, well, those are all one-offs, customs, impossible to get. So I don't know about abysmal. We'll have to see when we get there.
You'll see.
All right. I love it. All right, so this thing's a madhouse. There's another knife on the table. It was in the thumbnail. A bunch of you guys were asking about it. I just have to find it in the mess of knives on the table right now.
Grab it before you are. Look at
yeah,
this.
no, you probably can because you've got it right there, right?
That's right here. Yeah.
There it is. Okay, we're gonna let you handle that one.
Okay, I forgot I gotta go vertical on this because we're split screen. So
I know it's weird. It's super weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the James Brand Carter. Is this the one you had in the micarta?
That's the micarta. I don't. Oh, it's right in front of me, guys. I wish I could move the camera and show you the mess that is on this desk. But yeah, James Brand Carter. Whoop, got it in micarta. Now, Taylor, you've been carrying this one you've had this one since what, December, right?
Whenever it is you sent it to me, I think you sent it in December. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was right before it came out.
And what's your honest opinion? I mean, you did a video on it, so I guess for anybody who hasn't seen it, kind of what was your final thoughts on it?
It's a pretty small knife. It's a little smaller than like the Bug Out, and that's obviously what a lot of people draw a comparison to because it's slightly more expensive than the Bug Out, but it's also smaller. It got you similar like that ambidextrous lock. I like the blade shape, so it's got a little more belly than the Bug Out, and I did like that, and it feels good in the hand. But the one thing about it that threw me off is how, and it's not really a thing. It's not really a negative. It's just different. It's quiet. So when you're used to that, really any Axis lock or Axis style lock, they've got a kind of a thwack to them. But this one is just kind of not, and I think it's because it's all micarta and it's got that micarta backspacer and it just kind of dampens all the noise.
It's got like sound dampening. So yeah, to give you guys an idea, here's the Carter, so you can kind of hear it. It's a soft knife, and then like we got like a Hogue EDC as well, which we'll talk about, right? And it's a huge sound difference. Yeah. I'm with you. That was once
muffled.
Yeah. The other thing for the Carter for me, I actually really like this knife. James Brand's been doing a lot of stuff. I'm excited to see James Brand continue to grow as a brand because their designs are awesome. This one was definitely a step up in materials for them, and I actually really like the Carter. The one thing for me is I found the thumb disc to be a little slippery. Did you find that as well? Yeah.
So I was actually talking about this with Ben. Right before this came out because we were both carrying it, and I said, man, I don't like the thumb disc. I'm a thumb stud kind of guy, and he's like, man, thumb discs need more love. And I'm just I don't think it's the wrong angle, right? And that's what a thumb stud offers, is the stud you're wanting to push up with when you want to flick it open, and the disc gives you traction out, not up, and that's where I think it feels slippery. You're jimping on that, or the grip, if you're whatever you want to call it, is for
I call that podium jimping,
not up. Yeah, podium jimping. Okay, but the grip on that is for pushing out, and that's okay. But you have to kind of change your thought process on how to open it.
For sure, I'm with you.
That's all.
I do a lot of thumb stud opening
with the clip though. I did like that it's a little modular and you can swap that out.
Yeah. And you were carrying yours.
Put it on either side.
Yeah, you were carrying yours without a clip with a lanyard on it, weren't you, for a while?
At one point, yeah. Just for a little while. I don't like knives floating in my pocket. It's just not comfortable to me. So I went back, but I did wish that you could do both, and that's not possible. For sure. But that's okay.
For sure.
I'm a lanyard kind of guy, though.
Yeah, no, you definitely are a lanyard type of guy. So Jamie's hit me up with some comments. Isaiah Thompson said, "Hey Jamie, shout me out, man." So Isaiah Thompson, there's your shout out, buddy. Broden Malabik, I don't know how to say that name. Jamie, can you tell Zach I said hi? He told me. Justin Smalls in West Virginia, and he's carrying a Pair 3 lightweight and a Bug Out. Adam Dunlap, I guess it's Adam's birthday, so happy birthday, buddy. That's super rad. Dan Moen is rocking the Giant Mouse Ace Iona. That, I think, have you carried one of those yet, Taylor?
I haven't, no.
I've
only had one or two Giant Mouse knives.
Okay, yeah. So it's FRN handles and M390 blade, I believe, and it's like $99. It's a pretty good deal, so it's a great carry. And then Rollcast and Recoil ask if Ben bought a mini Bug Out. People want updates. I don't think that he has one, so I don't know. I'm not sure. I know he's stoked on his new knife from Wii that'll be coming out. I was about to say,
if he's not carrying a Banter, then
exactly. I think he's probably carrying a Banter, if I had to guess. But I know he was stoked on the mini Bug Out. All right. So on my end, let me see. There's one other one that I'll call out, and then Taylor, I want to see what you got for best EDC knives. I want to see what you're carrying, or not what you're carrying today, but what's been in your rotation recently.
Okay.
So Liam Whalen said that he wanted to see the Vanguard Mini Sheepdog, and I feel like this knife used to get a little more play than it does now, but this is such a good knife. This is actually, I think this is my favorite Kaiser knife, actually, is the Vanguard Mini Sheepdog.
A lot of Sheepdog fans out there.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't have Kurt ham hands, but I have some ham hands, and the Mini is just a little too small for me.
Oh,
okay. The regular one is a chunk in the pocket, so I want like an in between. I want a Sheepdog medium.
Right. What about that XL though? I love the XL.
I'd carry it if I had one. I'd carry it just because it's absurd.
They sell out before I can ever get one, but yeah. So you get G10 handles on this one, 154 cm blade. I don't know. It's a great knife. I love this thing. But I guess if you got the ham hands, might be a little too small.
The pinky just kind of slides off the handle just a little bit.
I got you. Oh yeah, and no.
Does it have a lanyard?
No, I just looked. No lanyard hole. So, yep.
If it did, it'd be all right.
Is that why you like lanyards so much? Is because you find that your hand doesn't usually fit the knife fully? Is that one of the reasons why?
With some knives, yeah. And it's so funny because some small knives I love, and some it's all about the shape. Like if it just has to be right.
Okay.
And sometimes you can grip something really good with 3 fingers, and you don't care about that pinky.
No, it's true. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
all right, so what do you got? What do you got? Something
tiny knife that I love.
Yeah.
Tiny. Love this thing. Surge Bean.
Ooh, yeah. It's a good one.
Tiny,
that's a really good one.
But it's also just super fidgety. I mean.
Yeah, for sure.
It's.
Yeah, so you guys can probably. Right now, yeah. You guys can see on camera. It's not. It's kind of a slip joint, not really a slip joint. It's got that kind of interesting detent system on it, right?
Dual detent.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It kind of irks me when companies call a dual detent knife a slip joint.
Right.
Because it's. I mean, it's slipping, but it's not a spring, right?
Yeah,
it's not a slip joint.
It's not locking, but it doesn't have a spring on it, right?
Right. Yeah. And that's one thing that has gotten me with this knife a couple of times. Like, you want to cut and put your finger on the end of it because it is so small, and it just pops closed on you.
Yep.
Got to be careful with it. But it's still fun.
Might bite you once or twice.
Yeah. It's gotten me a couple times. But it's not your knife unless you draw some blood.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if it hasn't tasted blood, is it really even your knife? That's the question.
I own all of these. All of
you
them.
own all the knives on the table.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So when you're looking for an EDC knife, what's something that you look for? So the Surge Bean, have you carried that daily? Is that something that's been in your pocket often?
Yeah, I carry it a lot because it's just a great little knife that's and it's not there. It kind of disappears in the pocket. I don't typically go for really small knives. In fact, most of the knives here on the table are huge. So I don't know. I really go for ergonomics a lot.
Yeah.
Also materials matter a ton. Because there's so many options out there now that if I can get a knife in a material I really prefer, like micarta, I'm gonna go for it. And if I can't get that knife in micarta, I'm gonna add it.
Yeah, for sure.
So
for sure. Yeah, I was on the phone yesterday with Jeremy Sears, a common friend of mine and Taylor's, and he was saying the same thing. He's like, man, micarta is just so good because it's grippy, but it doesn't tear up your pocket. It looks nice, and you get the patina without it being a little slippery, like brass and copper can be. For me, it's a perfect handle material, but I mean, that's, it's known that I'm a sucker for micarta.
No, it is. You're not wrong. It is.
Yeah.
It's the perfect material.
Perfect. I'm in good company.
What?
I'm in good company.
Oh,
then.
You're in good company. Yeah. I watch Fortune Fire sometimes with my girlfriend, and every time somebody picks up like a wooden handle to make a knife, I'm like, I love wood, but please no. Just grab the micarta. Every time somebody goes with a wooden handle, it breaks, and they wonder why. Because they didn't choose micarta. That's it.
Because you did.
That's the only reason.
No, it's the only reason. The only reason.
Yes.
This is one of the reasons we didn't get any Tops knives on the table tonight. But this is one of the reasons that I love Tops knives so much is they have micarta. I think almost every single knife they have a micarta variation, or it primarily only comes in micarta.
Yeah, I almost picked up a bull trout for your anniversary salt.
Yeah.
Almost, but I just had to pass. I've bought too many knives recently.
we all fall there sometimes. We all fall in that sometimes.
Oh yeah.
With the bull trout, you might find I found guys with bigger hands. The choil on the bull trout's a little sharp. So with bigger hands, if you do get one, you might find you have to knock that edge off just a little bit. There's some feedback I've gotten because I love the bull trout so much. I've gotten feedback from people who have it. They still love it, but it's something that a consideration with a bigger hand.
Yeah. Well, I got that. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Duly noted. Speaking of bigger hands, there is. It's going to take me a second, guys. This table really is a mess. Let's see. There's a guy who carries 2 monster knives, Kiwi Comanche. So he commented, we were like, what are the best EDC knives? What do you guys want to see on the table? Because obviously, normally we pull knives live, as the audience knows, but I can't do that in my shop, unfortunately. I mean, I have a decent collection, but not that good. So Kiwi Comanche, he said his usual EDC is an M1604Z. Get it in frame here. So that thing there. And then an SE4. This is like his daily.
Jesus.
And his name's Kiwi Comanche, so I don't know if he's like living in the bush or what, but like, those are some serious knives, man.
Was that the guy walking around at Blade Show last year with he was neck knifing a? Oh no, that was a Rat 6. It wasn't an SE6. It was Rat or SE6. Yeah. Yeah,
no, it was an SE6. Somebody at Blade Show was walking around with an SE6, which was as a neck knife, which was pretty awesome. But yeah, the
goals.
Yeah, right. Taylor, I think you could do it, man. I don't think it would work for me, but I think you could pull off the SE6 neck knife.
Just neck it, yeah.
We got a couple more shout outs here. Jaden Scott said he just bought a Spyderco Tenacious. He can't wait for it to get here. If you just got a Spyderco Tenacious, I've got an Elementum on the table that you're going to want to pay attention to, Jaden, because we actually have a how to knife video coming out on Friday that has some stuff on how to do some cool stuff to Tenacious. Gearhead 1982 is from Ireland. So, hey, how's it going? Hope everybody's doing safe and healthy there in Ireland. Chris Posey said, is the only thing besides color and scales on the new Bug Out CF Elite the change from the Green Ranger Bug Out? Otherwise, are they the same? So the difference is the handle material. So they've actually impregnated the GFN or the plastic, whatever they're using for the handle on that, with carbon fiber. So it keeps it super light, but makes it way more rigid. So that's the big difference there. And then Andrew Setcher said, Taylor, I just jumped into EDC and I'm going all in with the tie design slide. What should my next move be? Knife, wallet, pen, etc. On a budget too, unfortunately. So what do you think, Taylor? You got to. Yeah, I know it's a big question, and we're live, so I'm just gonna put you on the spot.
Yeah, that is a huge question. I mean, my default is knife, right?
Knife, right? Yeah.
I'm into EDC, and I've got a bunch of flashlights and wallets and all the things, but I have way more knives than anything else. So
yeah,
I think that shows you kind of the not the importance, but where my interests really lie, I guess.
Right. Yeah. And that's what I've noticed with guys that are way into like the EDC thing, the pocket dumps and everything. It's almost like they focus sometimes. A lot of guys focus on the knife, but some guys will focus on the light or the pen or the watch even. Don't get into watches. I've heard it's a bad idea.
It is.
It is.
I said I've bought too many knives, but I've also bought too many watches. So.
Oh, are you a watch guy too?
Trying not to be. I'm trying my best, but it's not working too well.
So I've got another fan suggestion here for best EDC knives, and I don't know if you've handled one of these, but it's going to open up the discussion on another knife you were saying you've fallen out of love with earlier. This is... Oh, I did it right. Yes. So this is the Hogue EDC. So this was Money Mike. Money Mike, I just realized that you asked for the blacked out modified Wharncliffe, and I completely failed you. I think I went the exact opposite with this pick. Sorry, buddy. But the Hogue EDC is an awesome knife. I want to make sure I'm right because I don't have any papers in front of me. I'm pretty sure it's 20 CV on the deck. 99% sure. Yeah. Yep, 20 CV. So 20 CV on the Deca, G10 handles. You get that nice ambi lock. I think they call it the Able lock at Hogue. But yeah, great little knife from Hogue, and it goes for like $140. So you're getting 20 CV. You get that Able lock, great action, made in the USA, all the stuff you love. Now this knife reminds me of Benchmade knife. It's very similar to a bug out, a little bit heavier, but very similar. And Taylor,
Looks
you were
extra
saying,
grippy.
yeah, exactly. You were saying that you've kind of fallen out of love with the bug out recently.
Yeah, so a lot of people want my bug out because I got the aftermarket scales, and then I bronzed anodized them, and it's honestly it's the best bug out. Like,
Dude,
it is.
it's a beautiful bug out. I will say you probably defeated the purpose of the bug out by making it heavy, but
Well, it only added like 0.8 ounces, so it's not
okay.
super heavy. I think it's 2.4 ounces now, so it's
Okay.
It's 0.6 ounces. I don't know. It's not much heavier,
Cool.
but it's much stronger. But yeah, it's super lightweight. It just, I don't know, it just doesn't do much for me. The thing that bugs me, and the people in my Discord pointed this out to me, is that the axis bar on it is titanium, and what happens is it gets a little gritty. So you have a coating on that, and once the coating wears, it gets really gritty until it wears through and basically polishes out the titanium. You could polish it yourself, but I've tried, and it's kind of tough. It's a very small piece of titanium.
It is. It is.
I wish they used steel instead of
Right.
titanium.
Instead of titanium.
I get why they did it.
Right.
But I mean, what's your weight saving on the tiniest piece of titanium ever?
Right.
Right. Like, I don't know. But yeah, it's a great knife, but I think the Omega Springs breaking on me just kind of pushed it over for me, you know? Like,
Right. And that's what you were mentioning. So this is, oh, go ahead.
Oh, no. I was done.
Okay.
I often look like I'm going to talk, but I'm not.
Okay. This was, so we have a struggle here, guys, too, just so you know, with live stream. So I've got a camera here, but Taylor is here. So I'm trying to read both at the same time. No, this is something that's interesting. So, you know, all of us carry bug outs. I've carried Benchmades for years and years. Everybody at Blade HQ's carried Benchmades for years and years. I've seen a lot of comments about broken Omega Springs. I've never broken them, and nobody at Blade HQ's, I've never met anybody at Blade HQ that's broken them either. So it's interesting to actually talk to somebody who has broken Omega Springs. Yeah, that's what you were saying, 3 times. That's crazy.
Maybe I just flick it too much. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's a possibility, but because this one is no longer stock, I can't get it warranty exchanged. They won't just send me Omega Springs, to my knowledge. You can buy some aftermarket, but that's what I did, and they're not the same. It's not the same tension. So it feels really loose, and so it may not be the bug outs problem. It may be me, but because I do like this knife, it's just the action on it is weird now.
Right, for sure.
It's different. So
interesting.
Maybe I'll try to steal them out of the Carter or something. I don't know.
There you go.
They might be a different shape.
They're probably. I
we
bet
can make a
Franken
Franken knife.
Yeah, there you go. Right, a James Benchmade.
Yes.
So Max Schwartz on the live chat here, he reminded me that Nick Shabazz just hit 100,000 subscribers today. So if you guys are into knife reviews and stuff, go check out Nick Shabazz's channel. Subscribe to him. He's an awesome dude, and congratulations, Nick, on hitting 100,000. Super cool.
Yeah, it's really hard to do. So go congratulate him. It's tough.
Yeah, for sure. You recently just hit 100,000, isn't that right?
In October, yeah.
Yeah, October. Yeah. That's awesome, dude. Yeah.
6 years of trying.
Yeah.
Took a long time.
Obviously, we've done videos with Taylor in the past. We really like Taylor's content, but if you guys haven't checked out Taylor, make sure to go subscribe to him right now. Just leave this video and go subscribe to Taylor's channel. He has some awesome EDC content on there. Awesome stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it's no hype. I mean, I say it when you're not on, so everybody knows I'm telling the truth. Let's see what else we got. Okay, let's do a fixed blade. I got a fixed blade here. So this was Josh J. He had a ton of knives. He wanted like an Olmec and a bunch of other knives as well, Wii knives and all that other stuff. But he also said an LT Right Maverick Scout, and so I'm pretty sure I grabbed the right one. I did. So LT Right Maverick Scout. Let's get it in focus. Boom. There it is. Nice dude, knife. LT Right, dude, they just do a beautiful, beautiful knife. And it's backwards. I got it. Okay. So A2 blade. I'm not sure what the handle, it's an ironwood handle material on this. Beautiful handmade leather sheath. All the LT Rights are made here in the United States, so that's also awesome. These are basically, I don't want to say they're customs, but these are like every one of these is handmade, hand processed. So we call them a mid-tech. I don't know what you want to call them, but really, really nice handmade knives. And this particular one is just a nice mid-size. I don't think I would carry this one personally for EDC.
That's a big knife for EDC.
It is. It's a pretty big knife. I mean, to compare it, I got a Benchmade Freak on the table, which is pretty big.
I was rocking a fixed blade on the way in tonight.
Were you?
My office.
Nice.
Yeah, I can't do a whole lot of fixed blade stuff here in North Carolina because you have to open carry. So.
Okay.
You know. Just came to the office. You know.
Yeah, just came to the office.
You can't. But this thing is, you may not even know about this. You've probably seen the pictures of it on my Instagram. But this right here is the new. This is a BMKT, so BM Knife and Tool EDC 1 with a little Bowie.
Yeah,
it's sick. It's such a nice knife. I can't remember the blade still in this for some reason. I'm blanking. Actually, no, it's Nitro V. So,
Nitro V.
He works with some pretty interesting blade steels, and I actually have 2 knives from him now, and I really just want to carry them. So I figured I'd try to take some time, since I'm pretty much staying at home, to just carry one around the house and see how I feel about it.
Cool. And what's the carry option on that?
Well, it comes with a Kydex sheath, but I added these today, actually. These are pull the dot loops that you attach. It comes with a Spyderco G clip, I think is what it's called. Which you can attach in just about any different way. So that's what it comes with. But before this, the fixed blade that I had, still have it. It's actually right over there, is a Bradford Guardian 3. That's a really, really great knife.
Those are really nice. Yeah, we did.
If you want the one that you can actually just buy at will, you know.
Yeah, exactly. That's one thing with your current collection, is that most of the stuff, like I said, you just can't buy at will.
Yeah. Sorry, my bad.
That's okay. It's respectable. It's respectable. There's different arcs, right, in the knife world, and I think right now you're leaning in that collector but uses your knives world. Does that sound about right? Does that describe it pretty well?
Yeah. Exclusive users.
There you go. Ooh, I like that. I like that. Exclusive users.
Yeah.
Let us know down in the comments, what exclusive users do you guys have? We got a couple more shout outs here. Peacekeeper MC said he just got the CRKT CEO. Loving it so far. Are you guys sure it's not assisted? So if you've handled the CRKT CEO, once you get used to opening it, it's pretty tight. It's really small and kind of hard to get in there. But once you're used to it, it really does feel assisted. That thing flies open. Have you played with one of those yet, Taylor?
Never. But
yeah.
It does definitely look like it'd be hard to get your thumb in there, especially, if you got fat fingers.
I was going to say, with bigger hands. I know Kurt he struggled at first, but once he got it, he fell in love with that knife because that thing just flies open.
Well, yeah, I mean, you've got so much blade behind it. Once you get it moving, there's a lot behind it.
Yeah. We have, there was some other ones. There was actually a bunch of people that wanted to see we've got these Boker LRFs right now. These are a bunch of Blade HQ exclusives. And right now we're sold out of the Green Micarta CEO. We're going to have more back, though. We're going to get a huge restock, and it's going to be in a couple months. It takes a while to restock those. But anyways, we've got this in copper, or we got it in brass, shred carbon fiber, micarta. We might have a copper one on the way. But this thing's also very CEO-esque, but it doesn't have that little thumb stud, and this one also flies right open. So this is pretty cool, too. And it comes...
So I have to say, I'm not a fan of those really long, slender. I want to say stiletto style blades. I know that's not. Yeah. But it's just, there's something about those long, skinny blades that I don't know. I've
just
got
doesn't do it for you.
Yeah, I've got a really long slip joint. It's 8.5 inches.
Yeah,
and it's very long and slender, but it doesn't have that very. I think it's just a straight profile that just. Even the chamoire, it's very straight lines. I don't necessarily like always straight lines. A little flair.
Yeah, well, you have. I think what you have in your pocket. We're gonna do pocket checks here in a minute. So start letting Jamie know, guys, what you have in your pockets. We'll give you shout outs. You've got something in your pocket that's not quite straight lined, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. You want to do this now? Is that what you're leading me towards?
Let's do it now. Let's see what's in Taylor's pocket.
Let's do it now. So I've been teasing this thing a lot over my Discord server and even on Instagram this week, and a lot of people guessed really close. They were in the ballpark. Most people guessed something like giant mouse. Some people were guessing paramilitary 2 for whatever reason. I know that I've
Right.
got this PM2, which is my Carta with a brass backspacer, but this looks nothing like the knife that I teased, which is this. This is I guess an unveiling of
This is the world exclusive right here.
Yeah, the Dapper. I don't know exactly what your the official title of it is because you haven't told me. You just said it was the Dapper, but
so let's
go ahead. This is take it away. I'm showing the visual here.
I love it. You got the visual. So guys, this is a project that we're doing with Jesper Voxnes. You can see he's got the little bomb there, and this is the Dapper. It's going to come in a bunch of different, a bunch of different versions, and we're actually really stoked. So we sent one over to Taylor because we wanted to get some feedback on it before we released it. So this thing is now. This is the unveiling of this new knife from Jesper Voxnes, coming from Blade HQ exclusive, and we're super stoked on it. So
it's a small knife.
It is. How have you been liking it though? Because I know it's kind of small, but I also know it's your material. So
yeah, the brass in my card, it really just sends it home. But Jesper is, and I've told you this many times, the master of small knives. Small, useful knives, and this one is no different. So it doesn't have a choil, so it's a flipper, right? So you got a little itty bitty nib there, flipper tab, and you've got this. It's like a finger choil for your middle finger and jimping for your index and thumb, and it just kind of locks in. It's a very small blade. I don't know the exact measurement on that. It's 2.5, 2.4. We
didn't decide we were going to do this until we were almost live, so I don't have paper on it.
Yeah, but it just locks into your hand. This is my box opener knife right now. Like I want to use this one to do that because that's what it feels like, you know?
Yeah.
I just love the blade shape, and the action on it is great. I mean, it flies open. I like it. It's everything you could expect from Vox, right?
Yeah. And I think you hit the nail on the head. This is something that I love about Jesper, because I also don't like really small knives, but he has this economy of space, right? Where he just puts everything in the right place where you're like, oh man, this feels small but really nice.
Like the Suru, which has always been one of my favorite knives. The Suru is a small, very useful knife, and you can see that blade size is pretty similar.
Yeah,
your cutting edge is very similar. In fact, I think this has a bigger blade than the Suru.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit
skinnier,
longer,
but it's longer.
Yep, yeah, exactly. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of it. The wire clip, which is reversible, is nice. I'm not a huge wire clip fan, but this one's good because the knife is very, very small, lightweight, and I feel like a big chunky clip wouldn't do this knife right. So
yeah, I know that was one thing when they were considering the design on it. There was some back and forth, and that's where they landed was. And you know what, Jesper uses wire clips often, anyways. But I'm a fan of wire clips, so I was stoked to see it on there.
Yeah, I'm the weird guy that doesn't like them for some reason.
No, there are plenty of people that don't. We asked people one time to comment like why they didn't like them, and to be honest, most people were like, I didn't like them till I got one, and then I liked it.
Yeah. Oh, so for me, I think it's just a mental thing. I feel like I'm going to bend that out.
Right.
Because if you know anything about me, you should know that I bend clips out a lot. It's just a thing that happens. I don't know why I do it so much, but I do. And it wigs me out, and I'm like, I'm going to break that. And a wire clip, if you bend it out, is much more difficult to fix than, a milled clip or, just
a stainless steel, exactly, like a stainless steel clip. It's way easier to fix that. I'd agree with that.
And it's mainly because if you do bend this out, this is going to get mangled more so than a flat piece of steel or titanium.
Exactly. So what else you got in your pockets? You got to have more than just that, I'm imagining.
Well, so now are we doing my pocket dump now? Because I
just do it.
This is abysmal.
Just do it.
So just to preface, before I start taking things out of my pocket, I maybe a month or two back, I did a video which was the best $250 budget EDC that I could put together on Amazon. So I went on Amazon and I gave myself a $250 budget and got everything that I would need in a carry. So flashlight, pin, wallet, watch, knife, key organizer, and maybe that's it. I don't remember. Like a multi-tool, like pry tool or something. So Casio Duro on my wrist, which is a really awesome budget watch, about $45. The knife, I just so happened to time it just right. I didn't think they'd be in stock, but the knife I got was my Microtech VV Elementum.
And that was also a huge thing. Everybody says best EDC knife. The Elementum's huge. I've got one on the table. I'm going to show you guys here in a little while as well. But yeah, huge knife.
Yeah, I've got the brass one you sent me, but I can't carry it for this because I would be breaking the rules.
Right.
This would have put me over budget.
Right, because the brass one is a little more expensive.
Just a little bit, just enough to put me over budget. So my Carta Elementum, I have this Husk minimalist wallet, just a very minimalist leather sleeve, a pin, which I got a bolt action pin out of the deal for like $30. There's this company called Refine, and they make these really great bolt action pins. This one's the steel, so I got it for $30. Not bad. Cool. And an Orbit key just for my keys.
Sweet.
I think that's everything. Oh, wait. One more thing, because it's the most important thing in the carry other than the Elementum. A Cadet.
Oh, yeah, you got to have the Cadet. Now, we were talking a little while ago, and you were trying to get your hands on a compact. Have you gotten one yet?
I have.
Nice.
I brought it with me, and of course, I left it across the office.
Right.
Close, but no cigar.
Yeah?
It's close. I still want... What I want, and it doesn't exist, but what I want is the Cadet with one more layer and a pair of scissors. That's all I want.
Yep.
So basically the Pioneer X, but in the scale size of the Cadet.
The Cadet. Okay. Yeah.
And instead of the awl or reamer having the nail file. That's
nail
all I
file.
want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does the Cadet have the Phillips head screwdriver?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's got the Phillips and the flathead, so the can opener and the Phillips, but not the full Phillips.
It's the 2D or whatever Phillips head.
Yeah,
see, I want a full Phillips. I strip screws out all the time because I'm doing stuff with it I shouldn't be. I strip screws out all the time without that proper Phillips head.
So I don't have it on me. I think it's also over there. I left everything across my office for whatever reason, but I've been carrying a pry tool. I'm gonna go get it real quick. I know what it is.
Yeah, go get it.
No, I don't. I can't remember if I brought it. I'm not gonna get it anyway.
Okay.
I talked about it in a recent video. I talked about it in a recent video, but it's a pry tool with a pocket for 2 micro bits. So there's a lot of pry tools with bit drivers and bit riches built into them, but they take 1/4-inch bits, and that's fine and all. But you end up having to 90-degree turn, right? So you're wrenching, not screwing. This is called a Vero Fulcrum, and it takes a micro bit and it goes in the end. And it's actually a driver.
Cool.
And it's amazing. It's the best. So that's what I've been carrying until I switched over to this stuff literally yesterday. I switched carries yesterday. Before that, in my pocket, I had some much nicer stuff, but I'm not going to flex. So
right. Well, there's at least one that I'm going to want to see before we're done, but I'm going to give some shout outs here from the live chat. So let's see. Picking up where I left off. Max Schwartz with the Nick Shabazz 100K shout out again. Nick, congratulations. Peacekeeper MC said, oh man, I'm going back. I gotta find my spot here. I must have scrolled. Okay, here we go. Joshua said, hey Jamie, I don't own any micarta knives. Can you ask Zach and Taylor what my first knife should be with micarta? I don't know what budget he's in. Taylor, do you have one off the top of your head?
So it's not stock, but
of course it's not.
Is that a parameter? Like if it has to be a parameter of a micarta, like stock micarta.
I feel like it has to be like something production that somebody can actually get pretty easily.
Well, you could get this. I mean, they're available.
All right. What do you got?
A micarta PM2.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? Like you're keeping the lightweight aspect of the PM2, still lightweight. You're getting just as much grip as that G10. Well, maybe not quite as much as that G10. That G10 they use is very grippy.
It is very grippy.
But it looks better.
Yeah, and it doesn't tear up your pocket. Yep.
What?
And it doesn't tear up your pocket. The micarta doesn't.
It doesn't tear up your pocket, and it looks great. I mean, yeah. or shaman. There are really a lot of options for Spyderco knives with micarta.
Yeah.
And that's one route I would recommend, honestly. But if you're wanting something stock, something you can just buy straight out, one of my favorites, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree, especially in my Discord, but one of my favorites is the. Did you lose me? Because it feels like you did.
I was gonna say I just looked down and it looks like I lost. I got your audio, but I don't know. Jamie's in chat.
What
if
happened?
Jamie, let me know if you can see Taylor or not. If not, we can wait till Taylor figures out his technical difficulties.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. Actually, I think I do.
Okay, he's looking right now.
Sec, guys.
Okay. Well, while he's figuring that out, guys, I'm going to give you guys some pocket check call-outs here. Actually, Joshua, my suggestion would be the Giant Mouse Ace Biblio. M390 blade. It's got a great blade profile, a nice belly to it, and the micarta on that thing is incredible. So I would say Giant Mouse Ace Biblio. Or if you want something new and you want something inexpensive, if you're on a budget, honestly, man, this OKC is pretty dang awesome, this SheiKra. So if you're on a budget and you want to get something that's just micarta, this is a really nice micarta, and yeah, really affordable knife. So those would be my suggestions. So while Taylor's figuring that out, I'll finish up some call outs here.
I'm still here. I just don't know what quite happened.
Yeah, figure out his video. Emperor Sands said he just got a Spyderco Para 3 and S110V. Just a shout out to him. It's got a purple handle, so that's a bonus. He's correct. Let's see. Going down, we got a couple pocket checks. So Jacob Avant, he's got an M390 Para 2 with copper scales. Baller. Mike Kopek has got a new Benchmade bailout. I need to get a bailout because I love the bug out, but I feel like the bailout's like just a little bit more knife, and the texture that they put on the handle on that bailout is it's just awesome. We got Warren Harrison Cross. Oh, hey, it's his daughter Olivia's first birthday. So happy birthday, Olivia. That's super awesome. A big day over at Warren Harrison Cross's house. Super exciting. And
I'm back.
Hey, Taylor's back. I got two more shout outs.
I feel like an idiot.
Well, I need to know what happens, but I'm gonna give these two guys shout outs real quick. Tony Monreal said he's got his Kershaw Natrix XL and a Victorinox nail clip. I actually like the nail clip. My nails aren't too bad today, but I actually like the nail clip because before we shoot, it's always good for me to clip my nails or try to clean them out a bit. And then Matt Avery said he's carrying the Boker Burnley ProTech Quaken Auto. I love that knife because it's a mouthful. And his bug out with blue anodized titanium scales. Nice. So Matt Avery, that's a sweet carry, man. So what happened? What pixies did you disrupt that they didn't let you stream anymore?
I'm sitting here turning off my camera, turning it back on, and unplugging it, plugging it back in. So you had me dump my pockets. I pulled my wallet out and I sat it on the trackpad, and it tapped this camera mute button.
Right,
and it turned my camera off. And I'm sitting here like trying to figure out
that's amazing.
What went wrong. And it was like the Russ Hanneman, tequila bottle on the delete key in Silicon Valley. If you've seen that, it's great. If you haven't, please watch it. But
please watch it.
You stole my thunder, though. I was reaching to grab this.
Oh, see, there it is. So I don't remember who it was asking. Yep.
Ace Biblio. Yeah, I've had two of these in both the green and natural, and they're both great.
Yeah, they really are.
So, some people question the heat treat on some Giant Mouse knives. I've not had any issues. I've had pretty much no QC issues out of anything from Giant Mouse. So
yep. Well, and that was the thing with that Ace Biblio. We used it, man, I think it was 2 summers ago now. 2 summers ago, we took that thing out and tested it out, and that was the knife that sold me on M390. I wasn't sold on M390, and we used that thing, and it got passed around the office. Everybody was using it, and I got it back like a couple weeks later, and it was still razor sharp. And I asked, I was like, did anybody sharpen this? And nobody had sharpened it. And I was like, whoa. So yeah, that M390 is sweet.
And this harkens back to, and I know this was a joint effort between Anso and Vox Knives, but the ergos. I mean, he's a master of ergonomics, he really is, and the jimping is in the perfect place. And this knife, I love this as an EDC knife, but I really also want the GM F1.
Oh
the
yeah.
fixed blade.
Yep.
I've been eyeing that for a long time. I don't know why I love fixed blades so much. I can't really carry them. I don't really carry them, but man, I want so many different fixed blades.
Maybe it's because you can't, and that's like it's that, you know, like that because I can, I want it.
Yeah, probably. But no, these are sweet. Highly
Yeah.
recommend the Biblio.
Yeah, it's a good one. That GMF one is a really nice knife. I didn't like the sheath that came with it personally, but Kurt's been carrying that
It's
one
like
a lot.
a slip, isn't it?
It is. It's a slip, so you can put it in pocket. I liked it as a slip, but you can also attach it to your belt. I did not like it on my belt. But Kurt's been carrying it. He loves that knife. He's carried it like every day. It's probably at his house right now. Like he carries it all the time.
You know what
so,
I
yeah,
love?
it's a good knife.
You know what I love about it? I mean, I've never even held it, but it's
Right.
it's the same blade shape.
Yeah,
as
it
the
is.
Biblio,
Yeah.
right? And it has the jimping on the back, but it also has it up here, up front, for those precise cuts, and just something about that, just I don't know, speaks to me.
It's super cool.
And it's a minimalist, like a skeletonized knife.
Yep.
Which I also like.
It's super light. Like I said, even as a slip, I really liked it. A lot of pocket real estate with a slip that big, but I thought it was well worth it to have a fixed blade. I think I said this in the fixed blade video that we did like a 30-day fixed blade thing. I carried fixed blades for 30 days only. And there was something about like coming home and like putting my fixed blade, you felt like a samurai, right? Like you take that fixed blade off and you just like feel so cool, like putting it on your dresser and you're like, yeah, no, I'm a cool guy.
Dude, I feel it feels so great to like whip this thing out and open up packages and do all the cutting that I need. Like there's just something about using a fixed blade. It feels more secure, but also a little more I don't know how to explain it.
There's a cool factor to it, and it sounds silly, but it really is. I mean, all my fixed blade use has been either work related, camping, or motorcycle, right? So it was cool to just carry it as an everyday carry knife, and there was a cool factor for sure.
If I had known you were doing that fixed blade video, I would have sent you something. So this was a gift from Winkler from Blade Show last year. 1 second, I have to grab this. Hold on.
Okay, go grab that. While Taylor's grabbing that, I'm going to show you guys a knife that I'm stoked on. It's kind of a newer EDC knife, and this comes from T-Park Magic. He said he's been crushing on the Lion Steel Thrill. So have I. So this, if you haven't seen it, this is the Lion Steel Thrill. Pretty cool knife. It's a two-handed opener. It's a really stout slip joint with a nice half stop. I really like a good half stop on my slip joints. But the cool thing about this knife is the pocket clip. So let me see if I can... think that'll work. And you can see there. Nope, there's the fingers. Okay. So you can see there, you push a button and the pocket clip comes out. And I've used this thing quite a bit because I was like, is that enough space? Is it hard to get it in and out of your pocket? Super intuitive, no big deal. This particular one goes for like $190. It's a little more expensive, titanium construction. I think it's got an M390 blade on it. But we do have G10 ones as well. Those go for like $110, $120. And these things are awesome. I'm actually going to pick one of these up next week, the G10 version. But yeah, Lion Steel Thrill, super cool knife. And this pocket clip is just cool. Dang neat. And it really does, man. It slips in and out of your pocket so easy, even though it doesn't look like it has much clearance. So anyways, cool knife. That's from T-Park Magic. All right, what did you went and grabbed a Winkler?
Yeah, so this little itty bitty knife, I don't know if it's focusing.
It's not. Oh, there it is. Got it.
Little itty bitty fixed blade. It's not much bigger than the blade on the Dapper. About the same size, actually, to be completely honest.
Yeah, very similar.
And the ergos on it are great. It's got a thumb ramp and some jimping in just the right place. And I've attached, of course I have, a lanyard.
Of course, yeah,
and
of course.
that gives you that pinky, which you can pull against and just get a really good grip on it. And it's got this little Kydex sheath that has just a little bit of lock retention in it. And so it was actually from his wife. She said this was her personal knife. She carried it on her purse. So she clipped it to her purse and would use it to cut open packages and whatever. And she just, also if she needed it for self-defense or whatever. But sweet little knife. I wish I could attach like a little clip and carry this inside my pocket, because I would definitely carry this.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. This is a sweet little knife. I don't know what blade steel it is.
Yeah.
But I've had a really hard time sharpening this. A hard time. Like I've had no trouble sharpening M390 or any of the steels I have on the desk, which is 20CV, S90V, 01. Like I have every plate steel you can imagine here, just about, and I've had no issues. This thing I cannot get sharp, and I don't know why. But it's also thick. It's a very
what's your
thick
preferred sharpening system?
I have a bunch of work sharp stuff. So I've got the Elite or the Kin Onion, the grinder, and then the new angle set. Those are the two I use the most.
Okay, cool.
So do you know the angle set one?
Yeah,
the newer one. I actually really started to like that one. So I had a sharp maker. That was the first knife sharpener I ever had.
I think everybody should start either with this. Well, you should start with a stone because you need to learn how to be frustrated, and then get a sharp maker. Get a sharp maker because then you can appreciate it. It's like I tell people with motorcycles, like you need to have a clapped out, really crappy bike, and then buy just like a half decent bike, and it will be the best motorcycle you've ever owned.
So I had a stone before, and I could never get an edge on anything.
Yeah.
So my mom bought me a sharp maker, and I was like, wow, this is awesome. I reprofiled a PM2 after I customized it one time, and I was like, that was not reprofile, but I mean, when you tumble a knife, you completely destroy the edge. So I had to, it took a long time, but I got the edge back on it, and it made you learn what you're actually doing. But for some reason, the angle set, like it didn't click with me the first couple of times I used it. I'm like, it's good. It's like a sharp maker.
It is.
It's got
very
more
similar
features than a sharp maker. And I actually was telling this to Josh at Work Sharp. We were on the phone a few weeks ago, and I was like, man, every time I ever used it, I was sitting down. And I just never could get it to work right, like exactly how I wanted. And one day, I actually, at that workbench back here, I was standing up and sharpening. And I'm like, that's the trick. You have to stand. Like, you can't sit and use this. It's too high, and you're not getting. As soon as I stood up, I was like, this thing is awesome.
Well, it's called a workshop, not a sit sharp, right?
Yeah. Like, well, it changed my angle of like how I'm looking at it, and I realized I wasn't holding everything exactly how I should.
Okay.
And being even just a little off when you're doing something like that
makes
enough
a huge
to throw
difference.
Off everything.
Yep, it really is. It makes a huge difference.
So I want to experiment with different sharpeners and different styles just so I can learn them all. I have some whetstones now, which, I'm not ready for that yet, but I've got some.
It's an advanced technique.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so we've got there were two other EDC suggestions. These are actually both Microtechs. I don't know if you've carried either of these, but it's Dosenga. He's actually trying to decide between the Microtech DRack. So this is the DRack for anybody who doesn't know. Nice little knife. It's got a centerfire button. Nice deep carry pocket clip. Obviously, you've got the glass breaker on the end. This particular one is a dagger blade. Nice, snappy, everything you expect from Microtech. A little more compact, a little bit, maybe a little more of a classy feel than some of the little less tactical feeling. And he's trying to decide between a DRack and an Ultratech, and everybody knows the Ultratech. I mean, this is the yardstick by which every OTF is measured. Similar profile, nice deeper carry pocket clip, glass breaker. This particular one also happens to be a dagger blade. And then size comparison wise, I don't know if this will help you out, Dosenga, but that I like the size on that DRack a little bit better personally. So yeah, both really good knives. The action's about equal for me. What were you gonna say there, Taylor?
I've never had an OTF with one of the side buttons like that,
like
actuators or
like the DRack.
Like the DRack.
Yeah.
It just seems off to me.
Okay.
Because that's your thumb is going to go to the edge. I've got my only Microtech I've ever had, and your thumb goes here, not here, right?
See, and that's the thing is it actually when you pull it out of your pocket. So you go to pull it out of your pocket, and when you pull it out of your pocket, your thumb's kind of here anyways for the pull. So it's actually, I don't know, it's pretty handy.
I mean, I can see that. It doesn't seem. I guess it just takes a difference in how you hold it.
It's kind of like that Carter, also, right? It's like the difference in a thumb disc, right? Like opening a thumb disc, you got to push instead of, or you got to push a certain way instead of the other way, maybe.
But also this one is contoured in a way that it kind of makes you want to hold it like this. So that probably makes the difference. Yeah,
for sure. But both really good knives from Microtech. I think there's only like a $20 or $30 difference between these two. So I think Dosenga, I think it's going to boil down to size, man. Like, for me, at least personally, I think it boils down to size because The UTX 85 is going to be a little bit smaller. It's 85% the size of the Ultratech, so it's going to be closer to the DRack size. So if you want a side fire, go with the UTX 85. But if you like this front fire, I would go with the DRack. And as the Ultratechs get smaller, and this is the case with most OTFs, as they get smaller, the action gets just a little more like tinny, a little more tingy. But this one doesn't have that at all. When you get down to like the UTX 70, I like UTX 70s. They've got kind of a tingy, almost crunchy action to them. And I think it's just what happens when you compact all of that down into such a small casing. Have you ever played with the UTX 70?
I've never had either of those.
Oh,
I've never
nice.
held either of those. The only Microtech I've ever held actually is this one. So
is that one there?
This is the SheiKra Katana. So it's a big boy.
It is. Yeah, the Cypher's a big one.
It's huge. It's what, 9 inches overall, or almost 10 inches long.
So on the note of
9.7 inches.
On the note of OTFs, have you played with a Guardian Tactical yet?
Are you being mean, or do you not know?
I actually don't know. I don't know the answer to this. I feel like maybe we've talked about it, but I don't know the answer to this.
So Blade Show last year, I picked up a 1 of 10 Guardian Tactical.
Okay.
It was
okay, I do
exactly
remember
like
that.
But it was green. It was like a battle-worn green handle.
Yeah.
And it was the last one they had, and I picked it up. I liked it, and then for some reason I decided to sell it, and I sold it for less than MSRP because I got it for
a good deal.
Show deal.
Yeah, of course.
And man, I was like, whatever. I'll pick up another one later. But it was like number 3 of 10.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, why did I? Immediately after I sold it, I'm like, why did I get rid of that? And I've regretted it ever since. Like, I missed that knife, and I can't get it again.
Yep.
Not in that configuration.
Not in that configuration. That's why you never sell your show knives unless you're sure.
Yeah. So this one was traded. It was very odd how this knife came into my possession. I had a small Sabenza. Somebody wanted my small Sabenza, and they said, I'm sending you a knife, and you can either keep the knife I send you, and if you do, send your Sabenza to me. And if you don't like what I sent you, just send it back. And I was like, that's weird.
That's a weird trait. You must be a very trustworthy dude. I mean, I know that, but I know you.
I guess so, but they sent this, which is a giant knife.
Yeah.
And I thought it would fill that hole, the void that was left by the Guardian Tactical, and it doesn't.
I think I remember you getting that at Blade Show, and you were so stoked. I'm shocked to hear that you sold it.
Like a week later, I sold it.
It's so funny.
I don't know why either. Like, what an idiot.
We all have those times, right? We all have those trades or those sells where we're like, dang it.
Yeah, I've had many over the last month even. So
nice. So normally, Taylor, we do these for about an hour. I've got a couple more knives on the table. I'm sure that you've got a couple more knives you could talk about. So I'm going to ask you guys in live chat. I've got the live chat over on this far screen. So if you see me look away, if you guys want us to keep going, I'm going to do one more knife that I'm kind of stoked on right now. Oh, I didn't do a pocket dump. I'm going to do a pocket dump, and then I'll show you guys the knife that I'm stoked on. And let me know in the live chat. What's that?
You do that, and I'm going to take another sip of my LaCroix because I just saw Jamie say so much LaCroix hate in the comments. So.
Put the pinky up, bro. Put the pinky up. There it is. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not into drinks that make it feel like a strawberry burped 3 doors down and then they put it in a can. That's not my jam. But I'm glad you enjoy them. So I'll do a pocket dump real quick. Let Jamie know in the comments, guys, if we should go a little bit longer. If you guys want us to, we will. As we said with these other lives that we've done, I'm fine to be distracted right now with kind of the way that things are in the world. So I'm having a good time talking to Taylor. Taylor, you having a good time?
Yeah, and everybody is asleep at home, so I've got nowhere to be.
There you go.
So and all the comments saying keep going. So I'm gonna go grab something real quick while you're doing this.
Yeah, go do it, and I'll do a pocket dump real quick. Okay. All right, so pocket dump for me. I'm carrying my Buck 110 Auto today. Actually, this was a Blade HQ exclusive, micarta and brass. They come and go from time to time. I don't know if we're getting any more, but they do show up from time to time. I love this knife, and this is what I'm carrying today. Just a great knife to have on you anytime. And I like the sheath, I like the knife, I like the action, I like everything about it. And then talking about best EDC knives right now, carrying a Launch 11. These are currently sold out, but we're getting a restock very soon. This knife has been in my pocket since I bought it. So this knife is absolutely incredible. I usually don't have 2 autos on me. It's actually kind of weird, but I'm loving the Launch 11. As soon as we get them in stock, if you've been waiting on one, get one. They're worth it. And then I've got a little upset from the compact. I'm actually carrying something different today. I'm trying out the Gerber. This is the knife I'm kind of stoked on. I want to show off. I'm carrying off the Gerber armbar. So the reason I'm carrying it is that bit driver. So I thought I'd take it for a test drive and see what it's about. I also really like this kind of, let's see if I can get it, this hammer on the end, which is really cool. And it's a flip up pry bar as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Have you seen? I don't know if you're done with your pocket dump. If you aren't, let me know.
I'm gonna gush about this just for one more second.
So okay, go ahead.
It has a knife blade on it that locks, which is pretty cool. But yeah, so I'm taking this for a test drive. A little while ago, people asked kind of what are the best features in a pocket tool, and for me personally, I want it to have a driver on it, I want to have a pry bar on it, and I want to have scissors. And this armbar has all of that. It doesn't have all the little accoutrements that I like about my compact, like the tweezers and the pin and the pen and all those other things. But I figured I'd give it a fair shot. So this is in my pocket for probably a week or so, and maybe I'll give you guys an update if you're interested in how I feel about it. I'll give the audience an update about it.
So that it had scissors?
Yeah, it has scissors in it too. Let me pull them out. I'll pull them out.
I haven't even looked at them. I think Gerber emailed me and they were like, "Hey, would you like to try these out?" And it's lost. It's in the mountain of emails. Oh, nice.
Yeah. These are actually.
I should know about this thing, but
yeah, dude,
you
should seriously maybe I'll send one your way so you can check it out.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a really cool one. They also made one for the French Army that has like a corkscrew or something on it. It's not my jam, but this one I'm pretty excited about.
I was gonna ask if you'd seen the screwdriver from Big Idea Design, because I know you carry their pin.
Yes.
But they have a pocket screwdriver that's very much like that. It's just smaller. And it's a frame lock screwdriver.
I have one, and I jokingly call it the Sebenza screwdriver. That's like what I call it.
Yeah. That it absolutely is. In my video, I don't know if you saw it. I did the video on my little EDC toolkit that goes in my bag.
Yeah.
And so the detent on that is magnetic, right? Mm-hmm. So it's not an actual detent pawl. It's just the magnetism from the bit in the driver. And I flicked it open, and the bit just shot out. It took me so long to find the bit.
I've done that more than once because that detent is so nice, and if you ramp up too much, you'll throw that bit right out of it.
Dude, I just about knocked out Alex's granddad's kitchen window the day it came in. Because I was just flicking, and the first time I flicked it too hard, it hit the wall beside the window, and I'm like, oh man, that would have been really bad.
Yeah. No, really you don't want to mess up granddad's window, man.
That would not be good. He's a hard man to pay back too.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so I've talked about we've had some different choices on the table, some kind of fun, unique, newer stuff that's out for best EDC knives right now. What do you got? What do you got for us? Show us something.
I'm gonna show you my favorite. This knife always makes people mad. Let's know what this is, don't you?
Well, I think I know since you said it always makes people mad.
Yeah. So this is one of my all-time favorite knives, and I get a lot of hate for even having it. But this is the Pena X Series front flipper trapper, manufactured by Rayot, which I heard you say differently. Am I saying it wrong?
Honestly, man, I say it Rayati, and that may or may not be right. There's a handful of knife brands. I just say them how I think I should say them. So.
Yeah, I have no idea how it's pronounced either. But
let us know in the comments, guys. I'm sure there's a Rayati expert out there. Let us know in the comments, how do you say Rayati?
This thing is just so great. I don't find myself carrying it right now. I haven't carried it in months because I probably have 30 knives on the table right now. And it's hard to rotate between them, especially now. Like, I'm doing this month-long challenge where this Elementum is my knife for the next month. No bones about it. Like,
you can't do worse. You can't do worse than that. That Elementum's sweet. It's a super sweet knife.
I'm happy, but it's also like I've acquired 3 of my Grell knives in the past month, and now I'm stepping it back down to the Elementum for a while. Which again, it's a great knife, but I got my grails, and now I can't carry them.
Speaking of grails, we got to see that that Spyderco grail you've got. You have it at the table? Let's see it.
I do.
Let's see it.
I
am going to shame you just a
I
little
look-
bit because you sold a Chavez to get this. So that breaks my heart a little bit.
I sold an exclusive Chavez with
Yeah.
a brass inlay.
But I know how much you've been wanting this knife. So it's completely, of course, it's completely fine.
Yeah, Ramona's still making knives.
Yeah, exactly.
This is not in production anymore, so I had to sell my Chavez to get it. This is the Nirvana, and Ricenti is one of my favorite designers by far. I really love what he does. His blade shape is it's signature, right? Like you see it, you know it's one of his knives. And the first time I saw Nirvana, I was like, that's it. That's the knife. And if I had to sell everything here on the table and just keep one knife, it would be a toss-up. This one would be there. This would be in that toss-up. And the other, you probably know what this is. People are probably going to think I'm going to say the SheiKra, but it's not. It's not the SheiKra. It is the other grail.
Yep.
The Hinder, the vintage. As soon as I saw this, I was like, I got to get a vintage. And yeah, it'd be a toss-up between these two.
Dude,
I'd probably fight tooth and nail to not have to sell both.
Right? You're like, I'll get rid of
them
them all, but these are the two. Those that vintage series is awesome. I've really the first time I really got to handle them and get my eyes on them was at SHOT Show, this last SHOT Show in January. And man, specifically the fixed blades, those buoys, they're beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
So you know that I bought a 3-inch from you guys. I bought the 3-inch XM18 vintage, and I sold it because I bought a 3.5-inch, and then last week I bought another 3-inch. I got rid of it because I was like, it's too small. And then as soon as I got rid of it, I was like, why did I do that? It was one of those. It was like, why did I do that? Like, I still liked that knife. So I got another. It's not a vintage, but I figured I'd play the field a little bit, try some other stuff from Hinder.
Yeah,
so,
cool.
Yeah, I'm a believer. I was not a huge Hinderer fan before.
And this is why people should watch your channel, because you cycle through stuff so much that you really do have this wide variety of collection that changes so often, right?
yeah, it's been wild. If you don't mind, I'd like to share another that I think gets overlooked, and it's I don't think you guys carry it because it's a collaboration with Mass Drop, but it's a really, really great knife, and I wish they'd do more with this. But this is I think an underrated EDC knife. Are you familiar with this? The Gent?
Yeah, the Gent.
Forge Gent.
Yeah. We actually carry the Gent as well. Yeah.
Oh, you do? Okay, that's great. Yeah. I didn't know you guys did, but it's a small knife too, but the ergonomics are really great and the action on it's great. I bought this knife for $30 new.
Whoa.
$30 for an S35 VN titanium frame lock. Oh, well, liner lock technically.
Right, yeah.
$30 because I had credit on Mass Drop and they were on sale for Black Friday. So I used my credit and the sale to get it for $30 shipped. Like,
that's awesome.
That's the best $30 knife you can find, period.
It's pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, but it's just a really small, clean, classy knife, especially if you get it with the wooden scales.
Yeah. On clean and classy and small, there was another guy who had a toss-up between two knives, and I know you carry a lot of Protex, or you've had a lot of Protex. Is this correct? Okay.
I've got 3.
Yeah. You've got 3, right? But I feel like you're a fan of Protec. Is this correct?
No, I have 2 because I sent one back to you and you never sent the other one back.
I know. I'm sorry, man. No, so funny story about that. So we're live. I'll just do it now.
Okay.
I actually think it was the way you were firing it. So to give you guys watching an idea of what's going on. So Arcform Slimfoot, Taylor had one of those. I really like that knife. You were enjoying it as well, but you were getting some misfire issues, right? Or some like lock stick misfires type issues. Yeah. So I'll have to send you a phone video. I think it was the way you were firing it, because I could repeat it, but had to put my thumb weird to repeat it. So yeah. Sorry, I'll get it back to you.
I was sitting there for like an hour one day trying to fire it in different ways to make it happen, and I finally figured out what was working. But I don't know. So I loved that knife. I mean, it's a great knife.
It's a really good knife. So
I had the lock stick on it where I could not unlock it for about 5 minutes one day, and I was just
exactly.
like, how do I close it now?
Yeah, how does this close? So anyways, if you guys have any issues with your Slimfoot, obviously let us know. But we've really been digging that Slimfoot as well. on the note of Protex, David Lovorn. I never know how to pronounce anybody's name. Anyways, he wanted to see a Protec Calmigo and a half breed because he's thinking about getting one, but he can't decide between the two. And these just came out of the box, so they're like still got a little oil on them. So clean them up just a little bit. But anyways, so obviously Calmigo, half breed. Taylor, do you have any? I have a strong preference about this. Do you have any preference between these two?
Calmigo.
Yep, all day Calmigo.
Yeah, the blade to handle on the other is.
Yep. It just doesn't do it for me, man. Yeah, it doesn't do. I know a lot of you guys like half breeds, which is rad. Like again, like we.
It's very scalpel-esque.
Yeah, we sell a lot of knives, and I definitely do not like a lot of the knives that are sold on Blade HQ, but I know a lot of you guys do. So my personal preference isn't super important. If I was choosing between the two, though, Calmigo all day. The portions are better, the blade shape's better. Yeah.
I will say that's got a really aggressive belly on it. The
Calmigo. Does. But I see, and I actually really like that. Yeah, I like that in a knife.
It's very similar to the Carter. It's almost like a Sponto. You know, you've got such a hard belly in it that it almost works like a Tonto or Sponto.
Yep. But yeah, the half breed, it's just never done it for me. This is a thing in general, like knife blade to handle ratios are super important for me just visually, and so yeah, just not a fan of the old half breed. I know a lot of you guys are though.
And that was my favorite thing about the Slimfoot. Like, there's a ton of blade for that handle size.
Ton of blade to handle. Yeah. And even they had to adjust that spring they had to change out that spring a couple times because the normal Protec spring would like throw the knife out of your hand because of how heavy duty that blade is. So they had to adjust the spring tension.
I showed it off a few times if you close that blade slow, you can see that the blade extends past the edge of the handle and then swoops back in. Like, that's insane.
It's such a cool design.
Awesome.
I wish I had one on the table, but yeah, with the half breed, again, not all bad. You got this deep carry pocket clip. It is good if you have a big hand and you have blade restrictions where you live. So that is a huge advantage to the half breed. Not my jam. Yeah, I'm a Calmigo man.
Protec's deep carry clip is the best.
I do love Protec's deep carry clip. They do a really good job.
Because it's totally flush.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You have a pocket milled for the clip, and then the screws for the clip are countersunk. So everything is flush underneath the clip, which is really, really nice. And this is one of the Protecs I have, which I know you're a fan of. You're not a fan of this variant because you like the
I like
extra scales, but
yeah, exactly. I actually have one on the table. Because if we're talking best EDCs right now, the Protec SBR is way up there right now for me.
At an SBR, it looks big.
Yeah, that's an SBR.
Oh, yeah. I like this thing a lot, and I never carry it. Just that's the problem with having too many knives. Is it's so hard to get around to everything.
No, I definitely find
carrying 2 knives a day.
Yep, I definitely find that I'm getting into that mode too, where I'm like I have the ones that I really love, like this Launch 11. I love it, but I put other knives in my pocket because I like to carry a lot of knives. So if guys have questions, the audience has questions, I can let you guys know watching what I think about a knife or how it fits my particular hand size or whatever. I teased a knife earlier that Taylor touched on, so I'm going to bring it up now. So a ton of you guys said the Elementum best EDC knife right now, and that I've got one here, but you might notice that blade looks a little different.
Oh, nice.
So this Friday, guys, we've got a How to Knife coming out on how to acid wash your blade. So how to do stone washing and how to do the acid etching at home. Taylor, I think you have a video of the same note, don't you? Don't you have a video, how-to video too? Yeah.
What I did is I did it. I showed kind of how it's done, but I didn't explain how it's done. And I said, hey, go watch Jeremy because he did this better than I can. Yeah. So I'm just going to do it and then tell you to go watch his.
Yeah, Jeremy Sears also has a really good video on it.
But also, like, I did mine at a machine shop. So I had access to tools that most people wouldn't have at home. So it's kind of useless to say, go to your sandblaster and then throw it in the commercial tumbler. So Jeremy showed how to do it in your garage. Mine was more of like, hey, if you know someone with a machine shop, here's what you could do.
Yeah, exactly.
So little tighter demographic there. But disclaimer, and I don't know if you mentioned this in your video, D2 is not stainless. And if you acid etch it, that can entice a little more rust, right? So
Yeah.
that and sandblasting, I don't. It didn't look like you blasted that at all. But sandblasting for sure is a rust magnet. But even acid etching, it just creates a little more surface area for rust to develop. And people in my Discord know that I have a problem with rusting blades. This is S90V on this Nirvana. I rusted it.
What? Like, is it because you live in a humid area, or are you just sweating a lot?
Both.
Both.
So it's worst case scenario. It's worst case scenario. I have rusted 3 M390 knives and 20 CV. Actually, this right here is a Berg Blade Iron Pup.
Yeah.
In 20 CV. I rusted this. So, yeah, I have issues with rust.
Dude, that's crazy.
So just to throw that out there, if you do acid etch your D2 knife or any non-stainless or even stainless knives, you might want to consider oiling it often, especially in the summer.
Well, and that's something that comes with, I mean, that's one of the things that is nice, though, about the etch with the tumble is that you create that oxide layer, which can protect a higher carbon blade, right, from some of that rust issue. And then the tumble helps kind of hide any rust imperfections that might show up.
I fortunately have caught all the rust on all these knives before it's caused any problems.
Dude, I've never heard of anybody rusting out M390 or S90. That's awesome.
20 CV, it's
20 CV.
So basically, I just need to carry like H1.
H1.
And that's it.
I want to see you carry an H1 knife to see if you can rust it. I mean, we left some in the Salt Lake for like a month, so I highly doubt it. But like the fact that these other ones are rusting on you is really interesting.
Well, they're all acid etched, so that's the common denominator. They're all acid etched or blasted and etched and tumbled. So I mean,
so you think that might be
blades
attracting some of that? That makes sense.
It's never happened with S30V.
Interesting.
Or S35VN. So it's just certain steels. I don't know. I have a knack, and I'm not proud of it.
And I'm not proud of it.
So that's actually why I've started going with more coated blades, just to close that out.
That makes sense.
I got the Shaman with a coated blade. I got the 01 tool steel. Like, if the coating wears off, I'm screwed.
Right, on 01 especially.
Yeah, but I mean, that's something I've thought about consciously. Like, in the summer, I'm going to carry these coated blades.
Huh, that's crazy, man. And you're not. I mean, you don't have a good summer knife anymore because you're not carrying the bug out, right?
Yeah, no bug out. I mean, I might have to go back to it. I might have no option
for the shorts in the summertime.
Oh no, I'm carrying my pocket sword this summer.
There you go. All right, so I got a couple more shout outs here. We got Paul R. He said, thanks, Zach, for help with deciding between the Wii kite fin and the ZT0450CF. I went with the kite fin and couldn't be happier. Also for Taylor, any idea when we're going to see the podcast?
Ooh, yeah. So Jeremy and I are starting a podcast called Whiskey Knife Fight, and we've been talking about it for a long time, and I'm pushing him. So everybody watching that wants to see this podcast happen, go harass Jeremy Sires. And,
wait, is it Sires? I've been saying Sears this whole time. Is it Sires?
It's Sires, yeah.
Oh man, see, I was talking to the guy. We've been having good conversations, and now I just gotta I gotta disrespect him by saying his last name wrong.
I think he's used to it because I had to ask him too.
Oh, okay.
I've heard him say his last name. I waited to hear him say his last name. Yeah.
Well, Jeremy, if you're watching, buddy, I apologize.
Go harass him. In reality, I think in the next couple of weeks we'd like to start it. So that's nice. My plan, and it's going to be kind of similar to this format. So
cool.
It's going to be a live podcast, which will also be audio only.
Oh, that's exciting. That's exciting. On the note of the kite fin, the Wii kite fin is actually a knife that came up for best EDCs right now. So, Paul, dude, I'm stoked that our review of those helped you out, and I'm glad that you're liking that kite fin. It's a pretty cool knife. It's S35VN, full titanium construction. Oh, go ahead.
I like that.
Yeah.
I was just saying, I like that.
Yeah, it's got some nice kind of brass accents all the way around. Titanium frame lock with stainless steel insert. Really cool knife. Nice deep carry pocket clip. So this kite fin's pretty sweet, and it goes for like $1. I think it goes for like $150, $160. So it's not a super.
Wedge.
Yeah, exactly. it's not a
That's awesome.
super expensive knife, man. But yeah. Anyways,
So I was just gonna say I've never owned a Wii knife, like a proper Wii
dude,
knife.
you're missing out, man.
I have their white label knives,
Yep.
like these Berg blades and the something obscene company stuff. Like I've had some Wii knives, but I've never had a proper Wii knife. Just Civivi and their white label.
For sure. No, we make some really good stuff. And, I've said it before, it was kind of the same thing that Civivi had going when Civivi first started. Everything about the Civivi knives was just spot on awesome, just not designs I would carry. And we has had some designs like that as well that are kind of like more artsy knives, things that for me weren't as practical, but they're coming around where they're making more stuff like the kite fin. They've just got a handful of really good, the Wii Bishop is also a really good kind of user knife.
See, that one looks like a Civivi knife, right? Like I know they're the same company. I'm just saying, like that looks more like a Civivi design
than a Wii,
like nicer materials. All right, yeah. So I like that. Like as soon as you pulled that out, I was like, oh, what is that? And then, yeah, I like it.
Yeah. So the kite fin, it's a great one. I do have a couple budget options on the table. I'm worried I might have talked about like some too many knives in the higher price bracket. Again, guys, I have to apologize. We didn't have time to organize these very well.
I have talked about my only budget knife on the table.
I like how you were earlier. You were like, "I'm not gonna flex," but you're just gonna flex like that right now, I guess.
Well, I was looking for something else. That all I have on the table budget wise is I have 2 Elementums.
Yeah. Really, if you're not a budget guy and you're looking to have a budget knife, Elementum. That answered your question. That's all you guys need. But I've got the CRKT Tuna as well. This is a new design from CRKT. It's a Burnley design, and this thing is awesome. We've really been loving this thing. It's got a stainless steel lock bar on this side, nice G10 on this side. I think it's CRKT. I think it's an 8CR blade.
8CR.
Yeah.
I had it in my cart about 4 times last week.
Nice, no, dude. You got to pull the trigger on this thing. It really is nice. It's a nice knife.
I had that and a pair of 3.
Okay.
Because I've never had a pair of 3. I've never owned a pair of 3. So I had those 2 in my cart last week, and I was like, I got to do it. And then I was like, I've bought too many. I'm cutting myself off.
Yeah.
So for the first time in like the last year, I've shown some integrity and just walked away. But
just walked away.
It's been calling me ever since, and I'm holding off. I'm good for now.
It's right here. It's teasing you.
It's my color, man. It's my color. Like, dude, I'm wearing all green.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And these cool brass accents.
My shoes are green.
Nice. And deep carry pocket clip. This thing it's a sweet knife, man. So, and I think it goes for like $40-$50. You had it in your cart. Do you remember what it was going for? I can't remember off the top of my head what it was going for.
$44.95 is what it was. I don't know if that was a sale price or what, but
yeah. So check
and one of the things that made me hesitate is 8CR, right?
Yeah.
Like at that price point, it would be easy to find another knife with D2, AUS 8, VG10. You've got a lot of other steels that you could use, but the thing is, I think way more important than what steel a knife has is the skill to sharpen. As long as you know how to sharpen, if you have an 8CR knife and you have to sharpen it more often, the thing is it sharpens like that.
Yeah, and literally less than 2 minutes and your knife's shaving sharp again, right?
Right, so that's a benefit, honestly. Like the edge retention is nice to have, but I mean, how many times are you going to sit here and just hammer that knife and beat up that edge so much so that the edge retention is going to affect your use of that knife?
Yeah.
If I were to guess, most people never.
Yep, exactly.
Right? And in some use cases where people are really hard users, it could become a thing, but they have field sharpeners for that.
Dude, and this is the thing with when you're talking really hard users in 8CR, like you talk to guys who serve in the military, you talk to guys who are carpenters, electricians, plumbers, and look at what they're carrying. A lot of those guys are carrying stuff that's like 8CR. And they're the hardest use dudes out there. And they buy it because they know they're going to break the knife, right? And so it's easy to replace. Those knives are inexpensive and easier to replace. But also, it gets the job done in some of the hardest work environments. So I'm a big fan of D2s, M390s for harder work. But if you don't have that luxury, 8CR honestly is a great workable steel. And And then also on the budget line, this K-Bar Dozier is another one that we have on the table. This thing is a sub $20 knife. We did a knife banner. It was me and Jamie. We did a knife banner. We talked about sub $20 knives. And this was one, I think it was Jamie talked about this one, but this was one that was just absolutely awesome on the table for under $20. I mean, it's a lockback. It's got a decent enough clip. It is tip-up carry. We found that with a lot of knives in the sub $20 range, they're not tip-up carry. So this one is tip-up carry. And the blade steel on this is probably just some like no-name stainless. I don't know what it is off the top of my head. But for sub $20, really good little knife. So yeah, so K-Bar Dozier, if you're on a budget and you're looking for a good EDC, that's also a good one.
That, or my favorite to recommend is a Rat. One or two, honestly, just depending on which size you want.
You can't go wrong with a Rat, because with the Rat, you're getting, I mean, it's a classic budget EDC knife, and you're getting a D2 blade. So,
right, and they're usually very affordable, and a million different configs. Like so many
you can get
versions
them,
of it.
The way we always say, you can get them any flavor, right? Like,
yeah.
All right, we got a couple more shout outs here. Brian Whitelaw said he has the Grimsmo Norseman, Boker Lancer and Copper, Wee Knives, Gasilia, Bronze Titanium Pry Tool, Copper Prometheus Beta, QEV2, Copper Tactile Turn 2 Pen. Buddy, I don't know how long it took you to type that, but it took me a long time to say all that stuff you have. A lot of great
knives. And now you know
there.
why I don't do the EDC Weekly that much anymore.
Right, exactly. A lot of great
stuff
knives
is
in there.
tiring. I'm actually going to do another one soon, and I'm gonna mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, okay. I'm excited to see that.
For it.
I'm excited to see that. Yeah, if you guys...
the plan is no plan.
The plan is kind of like this. We're just going to throw the knives on the table and just make it happen.
Yeah, that's the plan.
That's awesome. Broden Malabike, he said, Jamie, can you ask Zach if he likes LaCroix? I do not. I don't judge people who like LaCroix like my buddy Taylor here. But like I said, I'm definitely not a fan of, the fact that some mango walked through a hallway and then 2 weeks later they took that essence and captured it in a carbonated drink. Not my fan.
Well, you're just missing out on pamplemousse. So
yeah, I really am. That's what it is.
I don't know what pamplemousse is, but it tastes all right.
I do like that a lot of people...
I can sort of taste it.
What I do like that most people don't like is I like those yerba mate drinks, like the carbonated yerba mate drinks. I actually really like those a lot. They're really good.
Never had one.
Yeah, it's an acquired taste. It tastes like hay and cranberry.
Kombuchas.
Yeah, that's what it tastes like.
Kombucha is definitely an acquired taste.
No, I'm not I don't do the kombucha thing, man. I've got buddies who make it and they're like, dude, it's so good, and it's like in their closet, and I'm like, no, dude, I'm not gonna drink your moldy water. Like, I'm just not into that.
Yeah, it tastes like really bad flat beer.
Ugh,
like a fruity beer. Like, it's just not good.
No.
It has like that rotten fruit taste to it too, and then just
not my jam.
Yeah.
A couple more call outs. Redneck Kid says it's his birthday. Happy birthday, Redneck Kid. That's awesome. And then Vojislav Hlad, he says, I just want to hear Zach pronounce my name. Yeah, he got what he wanted. Vojislav.
He typed out the pronunciation for me one time.
Oh yeah, how do you say it? Or how do you think you say it?
I have no clue. I can't remember. No. I just know the name. The name is very familiar because it's so unique.
Yeah.
Vojislav or something? I don't remember.
Yeah, it's Vojislav Hlad. Hlad? I don't know. Anyway, sorry. I probably butchered it. But I think he wanted to hear me butcher it since he asked me to pronounce it for him.
Yeah.
All right. What else do I have on the table here, man? I'm trying to see if I've got
an upcoming knife.
Dude, let's see it. What do you got?
I mean, you guys don't sell it, but I mean, you should talk to this guy. I don't know how you guys do with white labels and stuff, but
yeah.
This one I pre-ordered a while back, and the guy reached out and sent me a prototype, and I cannot wait to get mine because this is a prototype, so it's not perfect.
Right.
I have a video coming out on his whole company or brand pretty soon, but this is as soon as I saw this, I had to get it super clean, super awesome design, and that is the Vero Engineering Synapse.
Ooh.
Have you seen these?
That is really clean. That's the first time I've seen that. That is really clean. I like the contouring on the bolster is really, like, through the whole handle is really neat.
Yeah, so it's a stonewashed titanium bolster, which is a really interesting look. And that blade is just so clean. I would show you action here, but I'm backwards. So it does have a
Dude, it's so
little
hard. Yeah.
mill. Yeah. Well, I normally have my camera over on this side, so
Right.
it's all backwards too. But it's got a milled pocket for Spidey flicks. This is the smaller version of the Impulse, which is one I bought a while back.
Okay.
So this is just a much bigger version in Tonto
Okay.
without the
Yeah.
bolsters. But this is a serious finger guillotine. I've had to tighten the pivot so many times because it's gotten me a bunch.
Oh,
But
geez.
it's
Yeah,
just
that
a
thing looks like
super
it's
clean,
falling fast, man.
but it's such a clean design. Like I just I really like what he's doing. He's the same guy that designed that pry tool. So
Okay.
that was
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Vera Fulcrum. So
Yeah.
he has that pry tool and these two knives, and that's all he has so far. He's still pretty new, but the Synapse is, man, it's just a really cool design. It's got this kind of futuristic, but also kind of classy
Yeah, and
look
that's what
to
I
it.
like about it is it's got some fun lines to it, but it's not too loud. So,
Yeah,
uh,
this one's a little loud, just because it's. I think the Tonto
yeah.
and the size and just I don't know, something about this one is just a little more. I showed this to Peter
Uh-huh.
McKinnon, and he
Yeah.
said it's a little too Halo for me. That was his
Oh,
exact
okay.
words.
I can see it. I can, especially the
Yeah,
specifically the blade profiling on that feels a little Halo, I guess, right?
yeah, but this one with that drop point instead of the Tonto is just a little more my speed,
Dude, send
and,
me
and
that
it's a better
guy's
size.
send me that guy's email.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
will.
that'd be awesome.
He's a cool guy, and he's doing some really interesting things. I love the really shallow flipper tab that he does. So
Oh
it's
yeah.
in line with the back, and then it disappears. It doesn't extend out. So
Dude, that's
just a
clean.
really clean, awesome design. This one is a little weird on the ergonomics. The smaller one fits much better. I think
Yeah.
it's just a better EDC size.
I was
So,
wondering how you were flicking that, but it's got kind of a nail nick on it.
oh well, yeah. So there's a
Okay,
little
yeah.
milled pocket in
Okay,
the
cool.
blade.
Cool. Yeah.
If I can, so a little milled pocket, and you have the flipper option, which is
Sweet.
very, it's really clever, man. I like it.
Dude, that's awesome. I've got a knife on the table that everybody should have, but I think that you should get one of these specifically. Have you
Oh.
played with the Benchmade Mediator yet?
No, I haven't. So they asked me if there was anything from SHOT Show that I wanted to check out, and I went through everything like 3 or 4 times, and I never landed on anything.
Yeah.
I'm personally not a huge auto fan, so I
Yeah.
have a couple of Protecs, but technically, I think the laws in North Carolina are just so they're worded
Ah.
poorly,
Okay. Yep.
and it says anything spring loaded, but I think what they mean by that, I know ballistic knives which eject a blade. It
Right.
doesn't stop; the blade ejects.
Right.
Those are definitely illegal in all 50 states.
Yeah.
But
You mean a gun knife?
also, the way it's worded, it's open to interpretation, and it could also include OTFs and anything spring loaded.
I
So
got
it's
you.
very gray.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody would say anything. Like, most cops are probably pretty chill because they also probably carry them. But
Yeah, for sure.
just don't do anything stupid, and you're probably okay. But it does make it a little.
No, I get what you're
So I
saying.
don't always carry them.
And I would say
I mean,
I have to stress for our channel, we're not lawyers, so wherever you live, make sure you know your local laws.
right. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough to know sometimes. I mean,
It
the
is.
wording is great.
It really is.
I wish I lived in a state like I don't wish I lived in California or New York, but I wish I
Right.
lived in a state that declared, they're legal or they're not. Not
Right.
in a state that's like
Where it's clear.
Eh.
Yeah.
depends on what time of day and where you are and how you're carrying it and
And
what
how-
you're wearing that day.
How I'm feeling about it, and
right. It's
Well-
it's so open to interpretation.
well, either way, maybe when we link up, if you make your way out here, or if we come that way, I'll have to bring one for you to check out. But this Benchmade Mediator, this is my favorite Benchmade knife of 2020 so far. This thing, it's snappy, it's the right size, it just feels good. It's an S90V blade. Dude, this thing is just awesome. It's an absolutely incredible knife.
Well, I think they asked me to tell them which one I liked, so maybe I can get my hands on one pretty
Yeah,
soon.
there you go.
Well, see, actually, the only Benchmade I have now is this bug out, which is not even. I
Right,
mean, it's
which-
only half Benchmade now.
Right, it's only half Benchmade. Nice.
I mean,
All right, and then I've just got one more, and then we'll probably close this thing up. I think we've went through most of the knives on the table here, and then for you guys who are watching us live, if you've held on this long, or if you just joined us, we're gonna have an epic knife giveaway here in a minute. So Jamie, get that link ready to drop, and I'm gonna talk about this last knife, and we'll polish up a little bit here. So this is the Kaiser Beglighter, but in titanium. So this is a new one from Kaiser. Yeah. This thing is a beauty, man. You got the milled pocket clip, obviously full titanium construction. You got the Kaiser pop of color on the collar there, and this thing is a beauty. It goes for $144. I'm trying to remember the blade steel. It's S35. So S35, and man, it flips awesome. It feels good. Kind of like you were saying, definitely not as small as that other one you were showing, but it does have kind of a nice smaller flipper tab. Just kind of an unassuming knife. Good lines. I like this one a lot.
very slim. It's kind of like one of those that I was talking about. Long, slender.
Yeah. Now
blades.
does this one fall too far on the pokey scale for you?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so a little bit.
Have you seen the Wii?
Solid straight line on the back and not being in just a very narrow blade.
Okay, I see now. So if it looks like a shiv, you're not into it.
What?
If it looks like a shiv, you're not into it.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing for me is just the way it fits in the hand.
Okay, yeah.
Like my hand is not a straight line,
Mhm.
and the contouring is important to me, I think.
Oh, I got you.
I've never had a knife slip because I'm not that much of a hard user, but still.
Yeah.
I like something that locks in my hand.
For sure. Well, so
I think
growing
that's
up,
something that's similar with all of these.
yeah, no, I'd agree. That's something that's very common, and I think in a lot of your collection that I've seen is that it locks in the hand, and that was something I learned growing up. So I had one grandpa that was a freight line driver, so he drove OTR, he drove overland freight trucks, and then I had two grandpas that were cowboys, they were ranchers, and so I grew up with a lot of gas station knives, a lot of of the lower end buck knives and stuff. And that was something I learned at a pretty young age, is I like a knife that locks my hand in. That's why, for me, jimping on the back of the spine, or on, right where your thumb goes on the back of a knife, is really important. And then kind of like you were saying, I don't need the contouring, I just need it to feel secure, right? And I think that's one of the reasons I like micarta, is a good micarta feels so secure in hand that you're like, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, this Nirvana has very little contouring, but it's got jimping in the right place, and it does have some contours in the right place that make it lock.
Yep.
I can get a really good grip on this.
No, I feel you. I understand. Yeah. That's something I love about knives, man, is people's favorites, or like we like a lot of the same knives, and then we like some different knives too, and it really is based on use case scenario and how it fits your hand at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Cool.
We all have different hands and different use case scenarios, so
Yep, exactly.
not everything's always going to line up, which is fine.
Exactly.
That's what makes this interesting.
Exactly. Okay, rad. Well, I think we're gonna roll out of this thing. Taylor, before we knock off, I'm gonna give a shout out, and we're going to put a link for a knife giveaway. I'll show you guys the giveaway knife. But first, back to our amazing graphic, super high tech today. Huge shout out to We Knives for sponsoring Week 1 Wednesday. I say it every single month, and I will say it for as long as we sponsors this. We Knives make some of the most amazing knives out there. They really do. Quality-wise, QC-wise, everything. They make an amazing knife, whether it's their white label stuff like Taylor was talking about, or whether it's their direct line Civivi and We stuff. It's just amazing. And they're really great people to boot. Like, I love the people over at We. Just amazing people. So they sponsor they sponsor WoW. They don't tell us what to put on the table, but they do give us a knife to give away. And we are going to give away that kite fin that I showed off earlier. So Jamie's going to drop a link in the live chat. He's going to drop a link in the description. If you're not seeing it, just hit refresh. Head over there and for your chance to win this sweet kite fin. And I might throw in a Gerber armbar because I've kind of been crushing on it a little bit. So maybe I'll throw in something extra this time around too.
I really like the black with those bronzed accents.
Oh yeah, man. It's
Hyphen.
see how close I can get to. There we go. Yeah, it really is just a beautiful knife. So it's a cool knife to be able to win. Sorry, Taylor, you're not. It's not applicable for you.
It's all right. It's all right. I've got a couple of knives.
You got one or two sitting around right now.
Yeah.
Thank you everybody who followed along live. This is definitely a little bit of a longer WoW, and this is kind of what Knife Banner is going to look like for the next little while with the different things going on in the world. We hope all of you guys are safe. We hope all of you guys are taken care of. And yeah, I think that's about all I got. Taylor, you got anything as we sign off?
You can call the runtime on this episode the Taylor effect.
The Taylor effect.
I mean, yeah, I have that ability to make everything run long.
Well, you know, we gave them a vote, and they chose, the people watching live chose for it to go long. So if you're not watching live, thank you so much for following along as well. Let us know how you guys liked this format. Taylor, thank you so much for being on. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure. And it's always a good time to get together and talk. And if you guys haven't, go follow Taylor on Instagram. Go follow him on YouTube. He's an awesome dude, but he also makes really awesome content. So you get the best of both worlds out of that. Cool.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. And I think that's all we got. So I'm going to try to turn this off correctly, and we'll see you guys on the next one.